Good day, everyone. I'm Miss Gregorio. Today we will tackle about the problem-solving strategies involving Polia's 4 steps method. Without further ado, let's get this lesson started. Objectives. First is understand the problem. We need to learn how to clearly define and understand a problem. Second is plan a solution. We need to develop strategies and approaches to solve the problem. Third is solve the problem. We need to apply the chosen plan step by step to find a solution. Fourth is check the solution. We need to review and verify the solution to ensure it's correct. And lastly, build confidence. We need to gain confidence in solving different types of problems using a structured approach. George Polya, 1887 to 1985. He is known as the father of modern problem solving. He was one of the foremost recent mathematicians to make a study of problem solving. He was born in Hungary and moved to United States in 1940. His one of the best-known book Polya published is How to Solve It in 1945, where he outlined a strategy for solving problems from any discipline. Ang strategy made by Polya has 4 different steps. Here are the 4 steps of problem-solving strategy that Polya advocated. First is understand the problems. Second is devise a plan. Third is carry out the plan. And fourth is review the solutions. First method is understand the problems. To help you focus on understanding the problem, consider the following questions. Can you restate the problem? Can you determine what is known about these types of problems? And what is the goal? Dito po, kailangan maintindihan muna natin kung ano yung sitwasyon at kung ano yung pinapasolve sa atin ng sitwasyon na yon. And next is second method, devise a plan. Here are some frequently used procedures and techniques when solving a problem. Make a list, draw a diagram, make a table or chart, try to solve a similar but simpler problem, look for a pattern, guess and check, and lastly, use indirect reasoning. Sa second method po, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng isang plano kung paano natin aatakin at kung paano natin isosolve yung problem na nandun sa situation. Next is third method, carry out the plan. Once you devise a plan, you must carry it out. Work carefully, keep an accurate and neat record of all your attempts. Realize that some of your initial plans will not work and that you may have to devise another plan or modify your existing plan. Dito po sa third method, we have to review the solution baka kasi meron tayo na overlook na steps or na overlook na information na kailangan natin i-consider pa. Next is fourth method, review the solutions. Once you have found a solution, always have it checked. Ensure that the solution is consistent with the facts of the problem. Interpret the solution in the context of the problem. Ask yourself whether there are generalizations of the solution that could apply to other problem. Dito po sa fourth method, you have to ask questions. Did you answer the question? Because sometimes you find the solutions which is not actually the answer to the questions. Kasi diba minsan meron tayong solution na hindi naman nasasagot ng tama or yung sagot natin ay hindi tama. So pwede rin nating itanong, is there's another way of doing the problem? Which may be simpler, so meron bang mas madaling solution or can the problem or method be generalized as to be used for future problems? Like pwede pa natin siya magamit sa susunod na problem. And next is 2. Making a list.
Hello everyone, I am Michaela, the first presenter of the Group 3, and I'm going to discuss about making a list. So, make a list. Making an organizing list will lead you to work logically and systematically. So here's the example of make a list. Janice has 2 skirts, a black and white. She has 6 blouses, a purple blouse, a pink blouse, a green blouse, a brown blouse, a red blouse and a yellow blouse. How many different outfits can she put together? So, to answer that problem, we need to use the problem-solving strategy that Polly advocate. The first strategy is to understand the problem. We need to find the number of different outfits that Janice can put together out of her 2 skirts and 6 blouses. Next, devise a plan. Making a list to find the number of different outfits that Janice can put together. Okay, carry out the plan. So, after that, list the color of skirt and the left that will correspond to the color of blouse at the right to see how many pair can be made. So, eto na yung mga list ng yung pair ng skirt and ng blouse. So, count lang natin yung by pair. Simula tayo sa black and purple to white and yellow. So, the answer is, assume na tayo na na-count na natin yan lahat. So, the answer is, Janice can make 12 different outfits. Okay. Next, review the solution. So, para ma-check natin kung correct ba talaga yung answer natin. So, go back to the list. So, after checking that all the data were listed completely, so then we can say that the answer is correct. So, ito yon yung list na sinasabi. I-check yung data. So, proceed tayo sa next example. So, example number 2. Judy is taking pictures of Jaban, Michelle, and Mike. She asked them how many different ways could you 3 children stand in a line. So, next, understand the problem ulit. So, we need to know that any of the students can be first, second, or third. So, pipili tayo kung sino o yung mauuna, yung pangalawa, and yung pangatlo. So, devise a plan. So, make a list to help you find all the different ways. Choose one student to be first and another to be second. The last one will be the third. Okay. Carry out the plan. So, after that, when you make a list, you will notice that are 2 ways for Juban to be first, 2 ways for Michelle to be first, and 2 ways for Mike to be first. Next, ito na yung list na sinasabi. So, ayan yung first, second, third. Okay, the answer is, there are 6 ways that the children could stand in line. Okay. Review the solution. Same lang din dun sa example number 1. Go back to the list and then after checking that all the data were listed completely, then we can say that the answer is correct. Okay. So I hope you understand. And again, I am Micaela.
Alright, so this time, ituturo ko naman po sa inyo ang drawing a diagram by using a Venn diagram. Of course, dahil karamihan sa atin ay gustong may ma-visualize para mas maintindihan yung problem or problem solving. Alright, so may hinanda ako ditong example. In a school of 400 students, 120 students are in the choir. 250 students are on sports teams and 75 students participate in both activities. How many students are not involved in either choir or sports? A. 90 students, B. 100 students, C. 110 students, and D. 120 students. Ayan, so gagawa lang tayo ng dalawang circle and maglalagay tayo ng space para sa both dito sa gitna. So, ang sabi dito, total number of students are 400. Students in the choir, 120 students. Students in sports, 250 students. Students in both choir and sports, 75 students. But we need to find how many students are not involved in either choir or sports. So let's start. Students in choir, 120. Students in sports, 250. And both are in choir and sports, or 75 students. Alright, so step 3, carry out the plan. Alright, so we have 100 students are in choir. Subtract natin siya sa 75 dito sa both is equal to 45 students. Ayan, so palitan na natin itong sa choir ng 45 students. Alright, so this time ito namang sa sports, and both subtract lang natin sila. 250 students minus 75 students is equals to 175. Alright, so palitan na ulit natin dito sa sports. Dahil sa sports, we have 175 students na lang. Yan, 175 students. Alright, so this time, i-add naman natin yung ating na-calculate kanina. So, 45 students in choir plus 75 students in both and 175 students nakasali sa sports. So, we have a total of 295 students nakasali sa choir, sports, at in both. Alright, so next, erase muna natin to. Alright, so na-erase na natin. So yung kanina, mayroon daw tayong 400 total of students. And yung na-calculate natin kanina is 295 students nakasali sa activities. So we have a total of 105 students are not involved in both activity. Ayan, so sulat po natin dito 105 students are not involved in both activity, or 105 students are not involved in activities. And so meron na tayo 105 students. So the answer is letter D, 105 students. Ayan, so ganun lang po kadali, ano? Pag meron talaga tayong na-visualize, lalo na yung very useful talaga yung Venn diagram, paggamit ng Venn diagram. So, yun lang po. Thank you so much, and sana po ay natuto kayo.
Another strategy, making table. Use of logical reasoning. Some problems can be solved without the use of numbers. They can be solved with the use of logical reasoning, given some information. Let's proceed to problem number 1. For example, Mikay, Ken, Joy, and Jai play different sports. Their sports are running, basketball, baseball, and tennis. Joy's sports does not use a ball. So, ito yung isang clue. Mikay hit a home run in his sport. Another clue yan. Ken is the brother of the tennis player. Pangatlong clue yan. Which sport does each play? Let's proceed to do the first method. Understand the problems. There are 4 people who play different sports. Given the information, we need to know which sport of them plays. Next is second method, devise a plan. Let us make a table and analyze which of them plays the given sports. Use logical reasoning to complete the table. Mark 1 for playing and 0 for not playing. Next is the third method. Carry out the plan. So parang nag-iimbestiga tayo dito, no? Titingnan natin yung mga clue or yung mga hint para ma-identify natin kung ano yung mga sports. Kasi sabi dito, sa problem natin, bawat isa sa kanila, ito yung mga sports nila. So, wala sa kanila na dalawa ang sports, so yun ang kailangan natin i-identify kung sino yung naglalaro or yung sports ay running, basketball, baseball, and tennis. So, using the table para ma-organize at madali natin makita kung sino yung naglalaro sa gantong sports, gumawa tayo ng table. So, ang unang clue natin dito ay Joy Sports does not use a ball. So, sa apat na to, sa tatlong gumagamit ng ball. Ito lang ang hindi, running. So, ito yung sport ni Joy. Kaya nag-mark tayo ng 1 sa running. Next is, Mikay hits a home run in his sports. So, ano ba yung sports na nag-hit ng home run? Of course, baseball yon. Kaya let's mark 1 sa baseball. Ang di na lang natin makuha ay yung kay Ken at kay Chai. Kay Ken kasi nag-aalangan pa tayo kung tennis ba or basketball. Bakit? Kasi ang sabi lang naman sa problem, Ken is the brother of the tennis player. So, hindi yun assurance na si Ken ay tennis din ang nilalaro. So, yun ang titingnan natin. So, kung makikita natin 4 sila, 2 na lang yung naiwan. Si Ken at si Chai. So, ang naiwan na lang na sports, basketball and tennis. So, dalawang sports na to, alin kaya dito ang mas pasok? Kay Ken. So, next tayo. Nag-mark ako ng 1 sa basketball kay Ken. Since yung kay Jai, babae, si Ken naman lalaki, so mas ano siya sa basketball. Therefore, yung ilalagay natin kay Ken, he plays basketball. So, dito siya sa basketball. And the only option for Jai is tennis. So, ibig sabihin, ang sport ni Jai is tennis. So, therefore, the answer is Mikay plays baseball, Ken plays basketball, Joyce runs, and Jai plays tennis. Let's proceed to last method. Review the solution. Because of the reason given in the table, we prove that the answers are correct. Let's proceed to problem number 2. So for example, there are 5 apples in a basket. You take 2 apples. How many apples do you have now? Identify what is being asked and gather all relevant information. Next, we need to do the first method. Understand the problem. We need to determine how many apples the person has after taking 2 from the basket. Next, second method, devise a plan. Use simple subtraction based on the information that there are 5 apples in the basket and 2 are taken. We need to determine a logical approach to find the solution. Next is the third method, carry out the plan. Start with 5 apples, take away 2 apples. Execute the plan step by step and perform the necessary calculations. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So therefore, there are 3 apples remaining in the basket. And the person now has 2 apples. The last method, review the solution. We began with 5 apples and took 2. There should be 3 apples left in the basket, and the person has taken 2. The solution makes sense, so the answer is correct.
Trying to solve a similar but simple problem. This strategy simplifies a complex problem by solving a smaller or similar version first. It helps identify patterns, test methods, and develop solutions that can be applied to the original problem. For example, number 1, in a group of 5 students, each pair of students is to be counted only once. The goal is to determine the total number of pairs. Understand the problem. There are 5 students. Each student must be paired with every other exactly once. So po, sabi dito, may 5 student tayo. Ang goal natin dito is to pair them up, pero dapat unique lang yung pairs. Meaning, bawat student magpe-pair sa ibang student, one time lang. Ang tanong, ilang unique pair ang pwede nating mabuo, yung isa-solve natin. Yun po ang isa-solve natin. Devise a plan. Solve a simpler problem with 3 students to find pattern. Then, use the formula in the formula. N, open parenthesis, N minus 1, close parenthesis, divided by 2. N stands for the total number of items or people in the case. Sabi po dito, gagamitin po muna natin yung 3 students, tsaka tayo magsisolve for 5 students. Carry out the plan. For 3 students, A, B, C, the pairs are AB, AC, and BC, totaling 3 pairs. Ipapakita ko po sa inyo kung paano siya nakuha gamit ang formula at manually. Ito po yan. 3 student, A, B, at saka C. Si A po, ipipair natin kay B. Si A po, ipipair natin kay C. Si B naman po, ipipair natin kay C. Total of 3 pairs. Pag ginamitan naman po natin ng formula, yung 3 student po na yan, ito po siya. 3 times 2 divided by 2 equals 3 po. So, kakalabasan po dito, kahit po tayo gumamit ng manually at formula, same pa rin po yung nilalabas nilang sagot, which is 3 pairs. So, kung naku-confuse po kayo, kung natatanong po kayo kung saan galing yung formula, napakita ko po siya doon sa isang slide doon po sa devise a plan. Pwede nyo naman pong i-check nyo na lang doon para po magets nyo po kung ano po yung formula. Ngayon naman po, gagamitin natin yung formula sa 5 students. 5 times 4 divided by 2 is 10 pairs po ang mabubuo natin. Answer, the total number of pairs is 10. Sa 5 students po, makakabuo po tayo ng 10 pairs. Review the solution. The formula worked for students and manually counting pairs for 5 students. AB, CB, AE, BC, BD, BE, CD, CE, DE. Also gives 10. Confirming the solution is correct. Ito po, para po mas mag-gets nyo pa po. Si A daw po, magpe-pair kay B, C, D, at E. 4 pairs po ang mangyayari. Si B naman po, magpe-pair kay C, D, at E. 3 pairs naman po. Si C naman po, magpe-pair kay D, at E. 2 pairs. Si D naman po, magpe-pair kay E. 1 pair. Equals is 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals 10 pairs po ang mabubuo natin sa 5 students.
Hi everyone, I am Miss Ingera, so we will talk about example number 2. So here's the situation. I buy a fruit, apple and orange, 15 fruit. Apple costs $8.20 and orange costs $8.25. She have only $3.25. How many of each fruit she buy? So to understand the problem, they have only $325. She buy a 2 fruit, apple and orange. Apple costs $8.20 each and orange costs $8.25 each. Respectively, it is to find out how many of each fruit did she buy. So para maintindihan po natin, ang hinahanap lang po natin dito is kung ilang peraso ng apple and orange ang napili ni Ana na worth $325. Devise a plan. One method to solve this problem is to make a reasonable guess. And this is use the result to make a better guess unit. You get the right number of apple and orange weight 325. Carry out the plan. We need to guess an answer starting using the 8 apple and 7 orange. So, we have 8 apples. I-multiply natin sa 20. Ang total niya is 160. and 7 orange, multiply naman sa cost niya is 175. Pag inad naman natin is ang lalabas is 335, which is sobrang taas. So guess 2, the guess 1 cost is too high. We need more apples and 5 orange. So 10 apples times 20 equal 200. 5 orange times 25 equal 125. Pag inad po natin sila, ang lalabas is 325. So the answer is, she buy a 10 apple and 5 orange. Review the solution. Both 10 apples cost 20 each and a total of 200, and 5 orange 25 each, overall 325. The exact money they have.
Good day everyone. So today we discuss about looking for a pattern. But first, we need to determine what is the meaning of looking for a pattern. It is a mathematical strategy in which students look for patterns in data to solve a problem. To find a pattern, students search for repeated items, numbers, or series of events. So sa looking for a pattern po, need natin dito ng critical thinking. For example, sa first or main number, second to third is titignan natin kung ano yung difference ng numbers nila and then how patterns work. So let's proceed here sa example number 1. The first week of Music Love had 9 students, the second week had 11 students, the third week had 14 students, and the fourth week had 18. If the pattern continues, how many students show up for the 8th week? So first, we need to understand the problem. We need to determine how many students will attend at the music club on the 8 weeks. So sa understand the problem, ano ba yung need natin gawin? Or let's see na i-dictate na natin kung sino yung students na mag-a-attend during the 8 weeks. Next step is devise a plan. Identify how many numbers added in the given and count the difference between the numbers. So, from week 1 to 4, may mga students na doon kung ilan yung nag-attend and then madedetermine na natin kung ano yung difference ng number nila and then kung paano nga ba nag-work yung patterns into numbers. Then, we need to carry out the plan. First, make a table and divide it into 2 columns. The weeks and the students. In the week column, write 1 to 8 since it is the given on the problem. In the student column, write how many students participate during the 4th week. Lastly, start counting the missing numbers and identify how patterns work. So, kailangan muna natin gumawa ng 2 columns. Siyempre, dapat separate yung weeks sa students para mas maayos natin ma-identify yung patterns. So, sa column, syempre, 1 to 8 since given siya. And then, sa student column, ang ilalagay pa lang natin is hanggang 4th week since ang hinanap natin is 5, 6, 7, and 8 weeks. So, 4th week yung hinahanap natin. And then, here's the representation of the column. So, ito na yung column na need natin gawin. So, week 1 is 9 students, week 2, 11 students, 3rd week, 14 students, and the 4th week is 18. 5, 6, 7, 8 is question mark since hindi pa natin na-determine yung patterns. And then, let's start counting na. Ang difference ng week 1 to 2, ang nadagdag sa kanila is 2 students. And then, sa 3rd week is naging 14 na siya. So, from 11, naging 14. So, ang difference na is 3. And then, sa week 4 is 18, ang difference na is 4 students. So, let's try. 9, 10, 11. So, 2. And then, sa 11 to 14, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, 3. And then, sa week 4 is 18, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So, ang pattern is nagsisimula sa 2 hanggang sa 4. Hanggang dito sa 4th week. So, 2, 3, 4. And then, sa week 5, syempre, after ng 4 is 5. So, 18 plus 5, since sa 5th week, ang na-add is 5 students, is 23, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So, after ng 5, syempre 6. So, 6th week na naman ang nadagdag sa 6th week. So, from 23, magiging siyang 29. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and then 29. When it comes naman sa 7th week, as you can see, nasusunod na natin yung pattern. Magiging na siyang 36 since ang naad sa kanya is 7 students. So, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and then 35, 36. When it comes sa 8 weeks is, syempre, 8 din yung idadagdag natin since sumusunod tayo sa patterns. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, 7 na yung nadagdag natin sa 7th week since ang patterns natin ay pasunod-sunod. So, sa 8 weeks is 8 then. So, 36 plus 8 is 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 students. So, overall, hanggang 8 weeks, ang students na nag-attend sa Music Love is 44 students. So, let's see kung tama yung sagot natin. The students that will attend Music Love on the 8th week is 44. So, let's review the solution. Check the table and count if the given is complete so we can determine that the answer is correct. So, let's go back here sa carry out the plan. Dito sa column, so titignan natin. Students, 9, 11, 14, 18, and then sa 5th is 23, sa 6th is 29, and then sa 7 is 36, and then 44 sa 8 weeks. Okay, so our answer is correct. And then, let's proceed here sa problem number 2. A florist puts 3 flowers in vase on Monday, 6 flowers on Tuesday, 9 flowers on Wednesday, and 12 flowers on Thursday. If this pattern continues, how many flowers will be put into a vase on Sunday? So, ang binigay lang na patterns dito is hanggang Thursday. So, need natin i-determine ang Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, 3 ang need natin i-determine. 3 days. So, let's proceed. First, we need to understand the problem. Identify how many flowers in a vase at the end of the week. So, titignan natin kung ano yung need natin makuha or kung ano yung main problem. So, kailangan nating ma-identify kung ilang flowers ba yung ipuput ng florist by Sunday. And then, syempre, need natin mag-devise a plan. On the given problem, you can easily find the patterns by determining the different numbers. So, sa given problem, titignan natin mabuti kung ano ba yung pagkakaiba or agwat nila. And then, titignan natin dun kung paano nga ba nasusunod yung patterns. And then, carry out the plan. Write down the day given, like Monday up unto Saturday, and the number of flowers that you put on a vase. Then, you can total the numbers and determine the patterns and apply it on the last day of the week, which is Sunday. Sunday kasi yung hinahanap natin. So, maglalagay tayo ng Monday to Saturday, and then, may given na doon na Monday from Thursday, ipagpapatuloy na lang natin hanggang Saturday. And then, pag na-determine na natin hanggang Saturday is, madedetermine na rin natin kung ano ba yung ipuput ng florist by this Sunday. Here's the representation. So, Monday, 3 flowers, Tuesday, 6, Wednesday, 9, and Thursday, 12. So, tignan nating mabuti kung ano ba yung difference. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, and 12. So, ang patterns nila ay 3. 3 numbers or 3 flowers ang agwat nila kada araw. So, 3, 6, 9, 12, and then pag Friday, 12 plus 3 is 15, and then Saturday is 15 plus 3 is 18, and then sa Sunday, 18 plus 3 is 21. So, doon na natin na-determine ang pattern. Ang pagkakaagwat nila ay 3 flowers kada araw. So, let's proceed here if our answer is correct. The florist put into a vase on Sunday is 21 flowers. But, let's review the solution. Check the representation if the numbers are complete and count again the patterns. By checking, we can say that the answer is correct. So, let's go back. Monday 3, Tuesday 6, Wednesday 9, Thursday 12, Friday 15, Saturday 15 plus 3 is 18, and then Sunday 18 plus 3 is 21. So, our answer is correct.
Hello everyone, this is Ma'am Micaela B. Manahayor, instructor in Mathematics in the Modern World. So today we are going to discuss one of the strategies in answering the problem-solving question, which is the guess and check. So before we start, here are the learning objectives. First, apply the guess and check strategies in problem-solving and enhance problem-solving skills. So, the guess and check. Sabi dito, when you are unsure where to begin, make an educated assumption and then double-check it. During the process of checking a guess, you may see a way to revise your guess to get closer to the solution or the exact number. So, it is more on trial and error until makuha mo yung tamang sagot. But, you have to be careful kasi dapat guesses should be educated guesses. So, in order for you to understand it more, let's have an example. So, ayan, let's try to answer this. My mom told me to buy notebooks and ballpens as gifts. Altogether, I have to buy 16 gifts and spend 137 pesos. The notebooks in the market cost 12 pesos each and the ballpen cost 7 pesos each. How many of each gift do I need to buy? So the first thing that we need to do is, of course, to understand the problem. So you can revise it or use your own words in order to understand the problem more. 137 pesos will be spent to buy 16 gifts. The gifts should be notebooks and ballpens that cost 12 pesos each and 7 pesos each respectively. It is to find out how many books and ballpens will be bought. So after that we understand the problem, we have to devise a plan. One method to solve this problem is to make a reasonable guess and then use the result to make a better guess until you get the correct number of notebooks and ballpens to be bought for 137 pesos. So, yun yung plano. The next thing that we need to do is to carry out the plan. So, in order to carry out the plan, the first thing we need to do is to guess an answer. How? To start using the same number of notebooks and ballpens. So, since 16 pieces yung kailangan, we have to divide it by 2 to get 8. So, first, kailangan muna natin kumuha ng 8 notebooks and 8 ballpens. So, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, another 8 ball pens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, we have already 16 items. So, yung 8 notebooks cost 12 pesos each. So, yung 8 times 12 is 96 pesos. While, yung ballpen na 8 pieces is cost 7 pesos each. So, 8 times 7 is 56. Add to 96 pesos, yung total niya is 152. So, kulang yung pera. So, in order to fewer the cost, we need to bawasan rin yung notebook. So, we have to revise our guess. What if yung 8 pieces na notebooks is bawasan natin ng 2? So, 6 pieces na lang siya. And then, yung 2 notebook is palitan natin ng 2 ballpen. So, yung notebook is 6 pieces na lang. Times 12 pesos is 72. And yung ballpen is naging 10 pieces times 7 pesos is 70. So, 72 plus 70 is 142. Tama. So, 142 ba yung yung pinadalang pera sa atin? No, kulang. So, the third thing we need to do is we need to fewer the notebook pa para yung total cost is bumaba. So, what if bawasan natin ng isang notebook? So, yung notebook na lang natin titira sa atin is 5. And, yung notebook na inalis natin is palitan natin ng isang ballpen. So, 16 pa rin yung total na pieces, number of items. So, yung 5 notebooks times 12 is 60. While the ballpen na 11 pieces na siya is 7 pesos. So, 11 times 7 is 77. Plus 60 is 137. Okay, tama na yung guess natin. So, the review of the solution is we have 3 guesses made, diba? 3 beses tayo. So, it was checked that 5 notebooks will cost 60 pesos. And the 7 ball pens will cost 77 pesos. And the 16 gifts have total of 137 pesos. So, ayun. Tama na. Tama yung guess natin. And, nagkaroon tayo ng correct answer. Okay, class. So, samahan niyo ako mag-guess ng answer natin. So, sabi dito, I am a 2-digit number. So, ayan. 1, 2. So, sabi niya pa, I have 5 in the ones place. So, alin dito yung ones place? Eto, tama. So, yan, 5. 5 daw yung ones niya. I am greater than 27. Mas malaki raw siya sa 27. So, yan, greater than 27. Okay. But less than 43. Less than 43. Okay. So, what number I am? So, yung first guess natin is, ano sa tingin nyo? Okay, number 2. Sige, try natin. 25. So, tama ba? 25? 2-digit number? Yes. 5 yung ones place? Tama. Is 25 greater than 27? No. 25, baliktad, diba? 27 is greater than 25. So, 25 is mali. So, alisin na natin siya. Next naman na guess natin is, anong guess nyo? 55? Okay, let's try. Let's put 5 here. So, let's check. 2-digit number? Yes. 5 in the ones place? Yes. I am greater than 27. Is 55 greater than 27? Yes. But I am less than 43. Is 55 less than 43? No. 55 is greater than 43. So, yung 55 is wrong. Okay. What about 3? Let's try 35. 2-digit number siya? Yes. 5 in the ones place? Yes. Is 35 greater than 27? Yes, very good. And is 35 less than 43? Yes. So, the number is 35. Siya yung hinahanap natin. Yan. 35. Okay, did you get it? Okay, kung wala nang tanong, let's call it a day. And I hope you learned something from me. Bye!